Hey everybody, it's Tara Green here, the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. I think I might have gotten the time zones mixed up, or I don't know if anybody can see me here live. I'm on my phone now, so let me know if you can see me. It says I'm live publicly. So if you can see me, please say hi. Okay, yeah, I can see I'm on now. Okay, great. So I'm in Mexico. I've been just north of Puerto Vallarta now, and I put myself on to go on at 7 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. It's 6 p.m. here, so maybe the time zones got a little bit mixed up there. So I'm looking at this camera actually, but I'm live on the phone. Now, is anybody seeing me live here? I'll wait a few minutes. Usually people come on and they say hi, so I'll wait a few minutes. Maybe again this time zone thing has gotten a bit mixed up. Yeah, so I'll wait a few minutes until people show up. It says there's somebody else there. Okay, so we'll just be patient here. Maybe I should turn off my phone here. I don't really know. But I'm seeing myself. Where am I seeing myself from now? Now I'm kind of cut off here. What's happening? There may be a bit of a delay as well. Sorry, I think I have to get over here. There may be a bit of a delay. Okay, because the internet might be a little bit slow here too, which it has been. So if you can hear me, hi, please say hi. And let me know where you're from. Okay, I can't hear myself here. Maybe, there we go. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I'm thinking, I'm hearing a little bit of a delay there. Okay. Hi, everybody. Please say hi. Let me know where you're from. I'm looking at myself on my phone and on my computer. Talk about a Mercury retrograde. A little bit of a Pisces echo chamber there. All right. Okay. Okay. So how is everybody doing today? I'm trying to get centered in the picture here. Okay, this is weird, like I'm talking on the phone, but I can see on the computer it looks like something else. I have to be in one universe or another. Okay, I've been looking at the doom and gloom. Okay, maybe that's better. Okay. So again, I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm looking at the doom and gloom. Yes. Well, if you're a follower of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, sorry, I better get on the screen here. What's going on? Sorry if I'm going in and out here. That's better. I'm just going to stay centered here. And I'm watching myself. Okay. If you're a follower of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, you know that Yulia has written, how the Mars-Uranus square, which happened last Friday. I'm going to have to turn the sound off, actually, because I'm listening to myself, and that's a bit weird. Okay, but I do need to know that people can hear me. The Mars-Uranus square lined up exactly on Iran, on Dubai, and yeah, I did predict that it was going to happen February 27th because that was the day that it was activating. And it is right on the fixed star Algol, which is traditionally Medusa, which is off with their head. Okay, so the astrology works. It's always accurate. Okay, and I know Olga Morales, who's also a Cosmic Intelligence Agency, she's a different type of astrology, Uranian astrology, and she predicted this also very accurately. So you want to join the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, they have the best astrologers. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'll just wait another few minutes. I see more people are coming on. Okay, great. Nice to see you. I hope everybody's fine. We are in March already. We're going to march on. We're in that Aries era now, right? So it's all about marching on, soldiering on, being strong, being tough. Okay? All right. So March traditionally comes in like a lion, and the lion is the symbol of ancient Iran with the sun. It's very Leo. And goes out like a lamb. So we want it to go out like a lamb. That would be kind of nice if the conflict would get resolved that quickly. And the lion lays down with the lamb. That's an old Christian symbol as well. So that would be very nice. So we want to put that out, okay? So if you haven't been here before, I'm going to explain how this works. I've been doing this feature for years now. I will outline all of the major aspects that are going on during March. So I'm going to talk about that first. And then I'm going to do a live tarot card guide. Okay, so I'm going to pick tarot cards live. I use my Thoth tarot deck. We are moving from Pisces, the sign of Pisces, which is the number 18, into Aries, because we're moving into the Aries ingress. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm listening to myself, so I'm in this loop. Okay, we are under Mercury retrograde. You all know that right now. Okay, so a little overview of this month. Mars will enter Pisces. There's that big full blood moon lunar eclipse, which I'm going to be right under here in Mexico. It's visible over most of North America on March the 3rd. Venus will enter Aries and Taurus this month. Jupiter turns direct, stations direct. There's a new moon March 18th, and Mercury stations direct, and the Aries equinox is on March the 20th this year. It's not always on the 21st. Okay, so all eyes are on the US and Iran and the possibility of World War III with Saturn and Neptune at 0 Aries for the first time in 6,431 years, which is really when the patriarchy officially got started. So that's over. But you know, the big patriarchal guys are going to fight back. They won't want to give up their power very easily. So this is a new war cycle, unfortunately. Birthday's on the 4th of March. Well, happy birthday. If you were born exactly on an eclipse, then that has a very powerful impact for the whole year ahead. Good time to get a solar return reading. Okay. Now, so March the 2nd, Mars enters Pisces. So the warrior that rules Aries enters Pisces, which is good. You know, remember that Saturn and Neptune are together right at the beginning of Aries. That happens at 6:16 a.m. PST, 9:16 a.m. EST, 2:16 p.m. GMT, until April the 9th. So that's good in a way. It's the spiritual warrior. It can also indicate literally a spiritual war, because when you study the astrology, it gets very literal, actually, okay? But it's a good time to get passionate about creativity, about spirituality. We're still kind of finishing up the last of the Pisces energies here. That'll go on for a while. It's going to linger for a while. And listen to your dreams. It's a good time to do dream healing. It's a good time to vision, to imagine, to send positive energy out to the world. You know, collectively, if everybody raises their vibration, we can change the world, okay? Now, an eclipse is also a very powerful time to do that. So on March the 3rd, big, powerful blood moon lunar eclipse at 12 degrees of Virgo. It happens at, it's 12 degrees, 54 minutes exactly. Got to be exact with Virgo, you know. 3:48 a.m. PST, 6:48 a.m. EST, and 11:48 a.m. GMT. Now, it's a long eclipse, so it does last over 4 hours, I believe. It's going to be full for 1 whole hour, and there's a saying that the longer the eclipse lasts, that's how many days it will last. So that's at least 60 days after. Very, very powerful, like you're right in that energy. But all eclipses effects last 6 months. So you want to look at if you have any planets at 12 degrees of Virgo, or opposite that at 12 Pisces where the sun is, or at 12 degrees Gemini, or 12 Sag, okay? But it's a good time. You have to look at, you know, eclipses traditionally have a lot of requirements. You're not supposed to look at them directly if you're pregnant. You're only supposed to do positive prayers and mantras. So according to the Tibetan Buddhists, a lunar eclipse, if you say positive prayers, if you send out good energy to the world, that will magnify 100,000 times. So that's really what you want to do. Okay, Virgo. So paying attention to our health, to food, to what we harvest, to our work. You know, it's opposite Pisces, so there's that element of sacred work, community, our pets, you know, taking care of the earth, Mother Earth. It's very, very grounding. So we want to stay grounded. Okay. March the 4th, Venus in Pisces sextiles Uranus at 28 degrees. Virtually the last degree. So again, that can play havoc with the crypto market, the stock market. Again, things are unexpected, love loops. You know, things are weird. Things are outside the box. It's also relate to cryptocurrency, of course, and any kind of technology. So there can be technology problems too. Now that's at 8:41 a.m. PST, 11:41 a.m. EST, 4:41 p.m. GMT. Are you hearing me okay? Because I'm hearing this loop. Can people hear me okay? Can you wave your hand? Tell me you can hear me okay? All right. Okay. Okay. All right. I just want to know that people can hear me okay. Okay. On March the 5th, people are watching. Okay. March the 5th, one of the best days, Pisces Sun trines Jupiter, exalted in Cancer. So that's at 15 plus degrees. At the mid degree, it's very powerful. 9:14 a.m., 12:14 p.m., 5:14 p.m. That's Greenwich Mean Time. So that's a really good time to give to charity, to do water blessings, to bless the waters of the earth, the oceans. Water is one of our most precious commodities. So very creative, very compassionate, very much about forgiveness, especially with family issues as well. Also on March the 6th, Venus enters Aries at 2:46 a.m. PST, 5:46 a.m. EST, 10:46 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Pacific Standard Time, until March the 30th. So Venus is speeding through Aries, being the Amazon warriors. Hearing is okay. Thank you, CJ. Okay. It's a little loopy for me. So Venus in Aries, a straight up Amazon warrioress, right? She is in her morning star warrior aspect actually in her cycle. So not surprising that a war would start under Venus in her morning star aspect. So you want to bravely march into new love affairs, new values, new entrepreneurial spirit, new creations. Watch out for impulsive love hookups though. And you gotta love to leap into the fire, just jump, just do it. That's what the guy who started NLP said years ago, just do it. March the 7th, the Sun conjuncts Mercury retrograde in Pisces. That's at 3:02 p.m. PST, 3:02 a.m. PST, 6:02 a.m. EST, 11:02 a.m. GMT. It's called a Mercury Cazimi. It's a special blessing whenever any planet is sitting right at the heart of the sun. It's good for writers, good for spiritual insights, dreaming, meditations, putting out visualizations, because again, your mind is very clear. It's like getting a golden mind, right? So clear out all the old junk and the confusion, right? On that day. Okay, review some brilliant ideas, rewrite poems, repaint creations. So again, Mercury's retrograde, you want to use it in a positive thing. On March the 7th, Venus conjuncts Neptune. Now that is one of the most romantic, idealistic, wearing those rose-colored glasses big time days. So it's 1+ degree of Aries at 3:27 a.m. PST, 6:27 a.m. EST, 11:27 a.m. GMT. It's a very wonderful, romantic, idealistic, good for new relationships, confusing, lit up spirituality. And so do expressive creative arts. All those things are really great, right? So sending love, sending beauty, sending compassion, doing some charity work, in a new way, or starting something new that gives back. That's the new values. That's Venus. She rules values. Okay, so on March the 8th, there's the dreaded daylight savings time. It begins at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I have to recalibrate the timing for everything else in the world. March the 8th, Venus conjuncts Saturn at 1 degree of Aries, 6:40 a.m. PST, 10:40 a.m. EST, 4:40 p.m. GMT. That's a serious karmic love day. It is a good day to sign romantic contracts, to get married. If you want to bring serious, you want to have a long-term commitment, that is Saturn. Saturn's all in for the long term. And it kind of makes a new love commitment. It's International Women's Day, so women's needs must be taken seriously. Okay. So again, it has to do with you might meet older people in your life, or, pay homage, give back to your father. Saturn represents the father, an elder, a boss, somebody you really appreciate, take that seriously. All right. So March the 8th, Mercury retrograde in Pisces trines Jupiter. Again, at 15 degrees, very powerful degree, 10:23 p.m. PST, March the 9th at 1:33 a.m. EST, 5:33 a.m. GMT. So again, reviewing old dreams and creative projects. This is good. This is if you want to get a grant, if you want to appeal to women, if you want to do something for children, you want to write a children's book, you want to get an inspiration for a children's book, that would be a really good time to do that. Okay. March the 9th, Venus in Aries sextiles Pluto. This is a big power day at 4 degrees. Aquarius at 11:52 p.m. PST, March the March the 10th at 2:52 a.m. EST, 6:52 a.m. GMT. So this is a love of power day. So there can be big power struggles in the day. Again, women can use that power. It's easy to access power and to really stand up for your rights, okay? Could affect the stock market, commodities. Venus always is related to money, luxury, the market. March the 10th, Jupiter stations direct, okay, at 15 Cancer at 8:30 p.m. PST, 11:30 p.m. EST, 3:30 p.m. GMT. So whenever Jupiter, any planet stations direct, they are at their most powerful. They are stationary in the sky, okay? So for the next 3 days or so, from the 10th to the 13th, Jupiter doesn't move. So the planet of goodwill, of expansion, of higher learning, justice, foreign affairs, stationing direct is a very powerful omen, okay? So especially with Jupiter in a benevolent, Cancerian, exalted stage here. So it's a good time to do inner child work, lots of healing, lots of work with water, which is compassion. And for riches, Jupiter rules wealth. So doing water pujas is what traditional Buddhist teachings do. They work with water. Jupiter will stay at, again, 15 degrees. So you want to look at where 15 degrees is in your natal chart. And good for, again, healing, family rifts, family gatherings, lots of food stuff. Your stomach might be very sensitive actually at that time. Good time to get pregnant or symbolically get pregnant with something new. Buying or selling a house, sharing food with others, again, expanding your higher emotional states. Jupiter is the higher master teacher. All right. On March the 15th, Mercury retrograde conjuncts Mars. So we may be going over some old anger issues. 10 degrees, it's at 10 degrees at 1:08 a.m. PST, 4:08 a.m. EST, 8:08 a.m. GMT. Sorry, I'm having to read this off my screen here because it didn't print out. I couldn't get a printer here. Again, Mercury retrograde conjunct Mars. So pay attention to that anger, to that rage. You know, it needs to be expressed. Okay, it needs to be expressed, and you know, with Mars and Pisces, it's like can be sublimated. So it's a good time actually to access the unconscious, to do some past life healing or some use retrogrades to do regression work. That would be a really good thing too, very literally. On the 18th, Venus in Aries squares Jupiter, again, that 15th degree, 9:09 a.m. PDT, 12:09 a.m. EDT, 4:09 a.m. GMT. So this is empowering women again from traditional roles, but it's good for launching a new home-based business, finding a new source of income, again, launching a project for women, for children, anything that you love. It's about being powerful and independent, standing up for your own rights, nurturing a new source energy. A struggle with women and justice and homeless women's rights can be an issue as well. All right, now, March the 18th, Sun sextiles Uranus, again, 28 Pisces, the last degree of the zodiac, 1:20 p.m. PDT, 4:20 p.m. EDT, 8:20 p.m. GMT. Again, whenever you're dealing with Uranus, it's always unpredictable, it's chaotic, but that can pull the crypto market up because the sun brings light and it brings energy, okay? It'll make you feeling a little bit erratic too. So it can bring sudden insights. You know, Uranus is also like the sign of genius. So genius, sudden intuitive insights as well. March the 18th, there's a new moon at 28 Pisces, 27 minutes. Again, at the very last degree of Pisces. It's again, a very symbol of a karmic ending. So it further helps us to integrate those Pisces lessons, that letting go of the toxic energy, compassion, forgiveness, dealing with debts, being very charitable with ourselves. It's a very creative time to close old karmic cycles, right? We need to learn, you know, Saturn sets new boundaries, okay? All right, now, March the 20th, it is the equinox. Sun enters Aries. It's called Ostara in pagan terms. It's one of the 4 major cardinal gateways in the world. So whenever the sun enters Aries, it's sitting on the equator, basically. So, excuse me, it's International Astrology Day. It happens at 7:46 a.m. PST, 10:46 a.m. EST, 2:46 p.m. GMT. So you want it really, I believe that when that happens, that's really when that Aries energy starts to come in. Okay, sorry, I'm just going to take a little drink here. All right. So I don't know if everybody else is so sensitive to energy, but since I've been here and since all this heavy-duty karmic energy is happening, my throat chakra. Now that might be Uranus at the last degree of Taurus doing that. All right, on the 20th, also just in time, Mercury also stations direct at 8 degrees 31 minutes Pisces at 12:33 p.m. PDT, 3:33 p.m. EDT, 7:33 p.m. GMT. So as Mercury stations also, very powerful. You want to put your final writing, final signature, sort of say that's it, it's done, it's all over, finish that, completing a dream cycle, and getting ready to start something new. But Mercury is going to take until April the 9th till it gets back to its original retrograde station degree at 22 degrees, and then things can really begin to move forward. So we're still in a kind of a shadow zone until Mercury hits that retrograde degree. Now, Mars the 21st. Mars trines Jupiter in Cancer. It's also very positive. Anytime you have a trine with Jupiter, it brings great benefits. It's really positive. Again, 15 Cancer, that mid-degree, that's very close to the U.S. sun. So it does really favor the U.S. at this time, right? Mars, the battle warrior, right? Even though it's in Pisces, it's a bit weak in Pisces, but the trine to Jupiter can bring big issues with the Navy, water, anybody who has planets at 15 Cancer are kind of in benefits, but you still have to use a trine. You can't take it for granted. Okay, 5:01 p.m. PDT, 8:01 EDT, March 22nd at 12:01 a.m. GMT. Okay, now on the 22nd, the Sun conjuncts Neptune at 2 degrees Aries. That's at 4:18 a.m. PDT, 7:18 a.m. EDT, 11:18 a.m. GMT. This is called a Neptune cazimi, and a cazimi is an old word, old Latin word. It means in the heart of the sun. So anytime a planet sits in the heart of the sun, it gets a big blessing, especially for Neptune and Aries. This is like a really big blessing that the sun puts the light onto Neptune, the planet of dreams and spirituality and compassion and oneness. And Aries is all about me. I am that I am. That's the key word for Aries. But I am one. It's really seeing the light, the spiritual light, the star at the center of our galaxy, that we are all one, okay? So it can let go of old denials, old ghosting issues, old things that have been sitting in the back closet there that are going to come out. So again, the revelations of new things, like the book of Revelations, right? Neptune rules Pisces, so it could be very spiritual insights that come. It's a good time to meditate, to visualize on those times. On March the 25th, the Sun conjuncts Saturn, again, another cazimi, at 4+ degrees, at 1:55 a.m. PDT, 4:55 a.m. EDT, 8:55 a.m. GMT. So again, Saturn cazimi, when Saturn gets blessed in the heart of the sun, kind of gives a blessing to the old traditions, substantial things, real things. Saturn always rules reality, whatever sign it's in. It's the bottom line. It rules our bones. It rules career. It rules Capricorns and Aquarius. So a career can get a new burst. You can be signing new contracts during this time. They are blessed. A new launch is great during this time. It's a serious bringing to the light of day of things, right? So new initiatives. It is a war signature as well, an ending or a new beginning in relationships. Again, corporate structures, karmic issues for Aries, father issues, daddy issues, a war on patriarch or by the patriarch because they don't want to give up their power again. On the 25th, the Sun sextiles Pluto again at 4 degrees Aries, 11:16 a.m. PDT, 2:16 a.m. EDT, 6:16 p.m. GMT. Again, this is a Sun giving power to Aquarius, to that sense of collective new technology. Aquarius can be both kind of this beautiful, idealistic, humanitarian, higher consciousness, but can also be total control, total mind control, digital ID, right? And it's Pluto. It's everything underground, which we've been seeing come out. So there could be more revelations, Epstein files, more people humiliated in public, I would say, or called to the task. On March 26, Venus conjuncts Chiron at 25 Aries at 3:45 p.m. PDT, 6:45 p.m. EDT, 10:45 p.m. GMT. This is a very vulnerable time. You want to really open your heart. Aries is the warrior, it's defensive. But Chiron allows us to be vulnerable and realize that's a great strength. But love can feel like a battlefield as well. Healing the wounded masculine within all of us would be a good time to do that. Now, March 28th, Saturn sextiles Pluto in Aries, 4 degrees again, 3:13 p.m. PDT, 6:13 p.m. EDT, 10:13 p.m. GMT. It's big power battles, okay? Saturn, the old guard, Pluto, the elites, big battles in the world. It is kind of dangerous because Saturn goes into finality. I would be very careful on that day. It could be, Pluto rules uranium, it rules atomic weapons. That would be a day to be very, very dangerous. And it could be new power groups forming in the world. I'm almost getting ready to do the tarot part, so hang in there. March the 30th, Venus enters Taurus, her home sign, where she really is beautiful and positive and creative and loves to love and sensuality. And that's at 9:01 a.m. PDT, 12:01 p.m. EDT, 4:01 p.m. GMT. Venus in Taurus is in her own sign. She's revealing. She's seductive. She wants to indulge. So you want to get into your body again. Good for the stock market, good for resources, luxury, beauty. Venus strengthens the bull market. I also want to mention that the Sun conjunct Neptune. Neptune rules oil. So back to March 22nd. That can, again, be a big power struggle over oil, which we all know because of what's going on in Iran. Okay, so now I want to get into doing the tarot cards for you. Okay, so usually I can smudge. I'm going to have to virtually smudge everybody here this time because I can't really light this time. Virtually smudging you. All right, and I've got my special crystal, my Herkimer diamond crystal. You can see that looks like a big crystal skull there. And I'm going to use this, and I'm going to start with Aries. And so you can all just Aries, people have Aries rising, sun, moon, any planets in Aries. You're going to be in the focus now, for the next few years. So just think about your Aries planets, Aries ruled by Mars. So Aries people, what's the big message you need to know right now as we march into Aries territory? Okay, you get the Hermit. Okay, the Hermit. Okay, so the Hermit, the number 9 here, is saying that you still need to finish things up. You need to stay in touch with your body, Aries. All this fire is going to get you lit like nobody's business. I mean, Saturn is good in Aries because it will slow down that Aries impulsiveness. So this is about learning to pay attention to your body. Okay, again, I think that Virgo eclipse is really going to bring that message home. It is in your 6th house. If Aries is your rising, it's in your 6th house of health. So maybe you really have to pay attention to your body. Again, Saturn will slow you down wherever you need to. Maybe change your diet or your work. If you're not happy, you want to start something new. But always gauge it by listening to what your gut is telling you. And it takes practice and discipline, which Aries don't like because we're in a no patience era, but you got to learn it. Okay, you got to learn this, Aries. Okay. Again, bringing things to a conclusion before you start something new. Remember, you have to follow through. Okay, listen to your inner wise guide. That's very, very important. Okay, all right. So I don't have another deck to use tonight, which I usually do. Okay, but that's okay. All right, so now Taurus. So Taurus rules the throat chakra. Aries rules the head. Taurus says Uranus is right at that last degree, 27 degrees, sitting on Algol. If you're born in the last 3 days of Taurus, you're definitely feeling this chaotic energy, or any planets that are square that late degrees of Taurus, which is Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. You're going to feel that a lot. So Taurus, what do you need here? All right, you get the card of the moon here. Again, the moon, number 18. This is called the dark night of the soul traditionally. And that may sound a little bit heavy, but it is the tarot in 22 major arcana describes the path that the soul needs to go through from beginning to just incarnate till you go through all of the 21 series of archetypes till you get to the end. So this can be where you have a test of your faith. It would be like, the time when Jesus is on the cross in the myth and he asks God why has he abandoned him. So it's very human. So this is Pisces. So again, opposite Virgo, during that eclipse, you got to remember what's going on in your unconscious, that the outer world is always a mirror of the inner world. Again, it's facing your fears. And I know everybody's very anxious and they want tools, but really you have to go into your own inner depths and your own unconscious, into your own dreams, especially Taurus, and learn to find out what's buried in there that needs to come out, okay? So it is a test of your faith, Taurus. You have to believe that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And there is. Okay. All right. So now we're into Gemini. Now we know that Geminis are going to go through a big new surge of energy at the end of April 22nd, I believe. And so, you know, Uranus already gave us a little appetizer of what it's going to be like in Gemini. But when Uranus enters Gemini, it's going to be a big thing. So let's see what you need before you get there. Okay. You get the Lovers. Okay. So in the tarot, the Lovers is related to Gemini. I think you can see that. That's why I like to use this deck. So again, Gemini, be your Gemini self. What else can you do? It's going to bring out that Gemini airy nature. So you want to make some major choices about to be connected or to be separate. That's what the Lovers is all about. The Lovers are shown chained, but they're not really chained, right? So it's what ideas are you chained to? You know, you want to sort that out right now. Mercury, you know, when Mercury is retrograde, it affects Geminis a lot more as it does Virgos. So you might want to take stock of the choices you've made in the last while and where you want to go in the future. Again, with Mercury and Pisces right now, it's affecting your dreams. It's affecting your unconscious. So maybe a good time to write it out, to journal. Again, dream work is very powerful. And to maybe make a commitment. Maybe it's about time to declare your love, to speak it out loud, to make that commitment, you know? All right? But learn to love yourself. That's the bottom line. You want to have the balance within yourself first before you can have it mirrored from the outside. Okay, so Cancer. Now, all Cancerians have been going through their best year in 12 since late May. When Jupiter enters Cancer, it'll be there till June 2026. So right now with Jupiter in Cancer, you get the star. Okay, it says the connection is slow right now. Maybe it'll pick up again. Sorry if there was a bit of a pause there. Okay, it's the internet here. If there's any solar flares, that can affect the satellites here. This is supposedly Starlink. Okay, so Cancer, you get the star. So this gives you the gift of being detached. It's about breathing through all of the emotional turmoil and stuff that's been coming up with Jupiter in Cancer. Getting perspective is a good thing. And remember to breathe. If you feel anxious, if your stomach starts to get upset, it's really important for you to look at the big picture. I love this card. This is the card of Aquarius. It's about bringing down the higher consciousness, the cosmic consciousness, connecting with the stars, with the galactics. I use galactic astrology. So you would imagine that you go out to the stars. You know, I mean, I know the moon is becoming full here, but you know, if you saw the stars lined up, it wasn't exactly what they promoted, but the stars are lined up just after sunset. And if you saw the stars, the idea is to line up with the stars, not the planets. And imagine that you were connected to that star, and then you look back at Earth, and it's a little tiny blue ball with 8 billion people on it, and it gives you perspective. So think about, ask yourself, what is the cosmic message? What is the wisdom that I need to bring down? And you can take the position of this card, especially during the eclipse would be good too, and bring it down through your heart chakra and dispense it with your right hand. Okay, so this is a great meditation. Okay, so I offer that to you. Try it out, see how it feels to you. Okay, so freeing yourself up, Cancer, liberating yourself, you know, not just doing the same old, okay? But that might take until after Jupiter's direct to do that, okay? All right, so Leo. So Leo, the nodes of the moon are going to start moving backwards into Aquarius and Leo soon. So the north node will be in Aquarius and the south node in Leo. So Leo, so you get the High Priestess. So again, the High Priestess, the number 2 in the tarot, is about duality. It's about seeing both sides of the issue. It's about sorting things out. It's about using the rational and the intuitive side in a balanced way. All 2s have to do with that complementary duality. You know, everything in this universe works on that duality. You cannot change that. I know about all the gender stuff, but this is a magnetic, basic, archetypal pulse. This is the way energy works in this universe. You have to have those complementary dualities, right? So again, she brings the dreams. So Leo, paying attention to your dreams, seeing what's going on behind the surface. Maybe, you know, all the conspiracy theorists now said everything we talked about that was considered conspiracy theories has come true. So again, maybe you want to look behind the veil of illusion a little bit more. Where are you fooling yourself? Or, you know, where are you not listening to your intuition, right? So something new can be revealed to you, okay? Again, through your dreams, through your intuition, through your feeling nature, okay? As we're going into this very fiery and airy age, For all the fire signs, it's going to make you be more spontaneous, more fiery, more aggressive even. So this is saying, Leo, you need to get ready to remember how to stay balanced. This is the card of the moon, okay? And again, I believe this has to do with the eclipses that are coming in the future in August. Okay, all right. So Virgos, okay. So Virgos, let's see what you need right now. Let's see. Virgos. Okay, because the eclipse is in Virgo, it's very important for you right now. Okay, and then you get the death card. Okay, so number 13, don't be afraid. Nobody's going to die. It's not what this literally represents. Okay, although it can. Let me put that way. But it's Scorpio energy. It's about transformation. It's about the deepest soul transformation. Unfortunately, war, when people die, they transform their souls. People never die. Okay. It's energy. Energy just transforms. So any energy, anger, rage, whatever you have, that Scorpio ruled by Mars as well, you want to transmute it, you want to transform it, you want to be like the phoenix who torches your own ashes and transforms into the phoenix who rises from your own ashes. Okay, so Virgo, burn down any old issues, anxiety that you've been concerned about, your OCD. You want to honor it, but you also want to transform it. So be powerful. The death bringer is an important role to take on. You're in charge of that. What do you want to cut off? What do you no longer want to do anymore? What do you want to be liberated from? Death is always a part of birth. Birth is always a part of death. It's a cycle. Okay. So Virgo, you're going through a very powerful cycle with this eclipse, because eclipses usually signify deaths of major leaders, of power, of things that don't work anymore. Every 18, 19 years, there's a new eclipse cycle, okay? So not to be afraid of death, to learn from it. Death is an ally. That's an old indigenous teachings that I used to work with. Okay. All right, Libra. Let's see what Libra's got now. All right, so Libra. Okay, so Libra. Okay, you get the art card. Okay. So this card is alchemy. It does have Sagittarius on here. It's traditionally looks like it's justice, which is Libra. Sorry, but this is Sagittarius. But it does have similar elements to that Libran energy. But this one combines the masculine and the feminine. They become each other. So it's even deeper than a marriage. It's about total empathy, total oneness. Sagittarius has to do with foreign affairs. So this could be travel. It could be opening up the gateway to travel, to have a long distance relationship, to go back to school. This is Sagittarius is higher learning, higher education, philosophy, maybe getting involved more in politics, acting from a place of justice. If this isn't right, you have to act on it. Sagittarius is never afraid to open up their mouths and speak the truth. Trust me, I'm a double Sag. So speak your truth, Libra. Don't cower. I read somewhere years ago that the biggest aphrodisiac is truth. So if you can't tell the truth and be heard with your partner, then, that's not the golden mean in a relationship, okay? So if you want to learn, if you want to go more into spiritual learning, spiritual wisdom, going on a retreat right now, the world is in a very tumultuous place, okay, Libra? So if you need to do that, it's also a sign that you can meet someone who really is your soulmate. This is the card of soulmates, Libra, okay? But you have to have that inner marriage within yourself first. So turning lead into gold, again, this is fear, anxiety, whatever's holding you back. When you go into it, when you really embrace it, the key is to embrace your fears, and that's how they transmute. Okay, I think Rumi wrote a lot of poetry about that. Okay, so then let's get to Scorpios. So Scorpio, you get the Fool. Okay, so 0, the Fool. The Fool is your soul itself. Scorpio, it's like becoming brand new. It's coming back into your inner child. This is the whole golden child who just knows that it's loved unconditionally. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to meet other people's expectations or society's expectation or anything. So this is about being totally authentic and finding your inner child again. Scorpios are pretty serious, okay? So this is about finding your inner child. Maybe you'd have to do that inner child work and you find your authentic self and you play. I'll just watch kids. They love to play. It's really nice being here in Mexico here because the kids are playing on the beach and they're playing old-fashioned games and families get together, and it's very traditional, kind of old-fashioned spontaneity, right? So be more spontaneous, Scorpio. Again, in this Aries era here, which Mars rules, you need to come out. You need to present yourself into the world in a brand new way. So don't be afraid to be a fool for love or a fool for anything. You know, that's just your own judgments. Okay, so Sagittarius. Okay, so Sag, let's see what you've got. Now, for all Sagittarians as well, the fire energy is going to fire you up more. You get the wishing card, okay. So Sagittarians, the 9 of Cups, the wishing card is a beautiful blessing. I do use a couple of these different cards here, just for fun. So I get to be your fairy godmother and to give you 9 wishes, Sagittarius, so your Sagittarius rising, sun, moon, any planets in Sagittarius. The wishing card. Now, this is about giving blessings to the world. Okay, it's not about manifesting anything physical. It's very spiritual. We can't take the material stuff with us. We can only bring spiritual wealth with us. So all the good deeds, all the compassion, all the forgiveness, all the charitable work, without expecting anything back. That's what this is all about. Okay, so Sag, do it for the love of doing it because you want to make people happy. Not that you're attached to that either. Just pour forth your normal, natural, positive energy. Just keep sending blessings out to the world. You know, it reminds me also of the image of the goddess Diana with all of her breasts, right? Just sending all that blessing. It is Jupiter. It's Jupiter in Pisces, actually, which is a big blessing card. So on the eclipse, a full moon, be a good time to do some very strong, powerful prayers. Direct them at the power spots in the earth that need it. Okay, and it will come back. But that's not why you're doing it. Okay. So Capricorn, let's see what you got here. Okay, Capricorns, you get the Wheel of Fortune. So Capricorn rising, Capricorn moon, sun, any planets in Capricorn, you get the Wheel of Fortune. This is Jupiter. Now Jupiter in Cancer is opposite Capricorn, so really it's been giving all of you Capricorns a real gift, a real boost, positive energy, justice, expansion, travel. So if you're Capricorn, on the AC, then Cancer is in your 7th house, right? So again, expanding your relationships, you're feeling good, you're positive, it's lucky, you're in the right place at the right time, so do not doubt. This is faith. Do not doubt what's coming to you. Do not doubt that you're in the right place at the right time. My triple Capricorn planet husband has been saying this, so I can verify that this is real. Okay. So Aquarius. All right. So Aquarius, let's see what you got. Okay. All right, Aquarius. So all the planets are lined up so that they're supporting each other. It's very unusual for the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, to all support each other in these sextiles right now. It's a very rare thing. So Aquarius, you get the Hangman. So I know most people, when they see this card, they want to do this. They want to turn it the other way around. But this is one of the 3 special, what they call mother letter cards in the tarot, based on the Jewish mystical tradition, which is an archetypal tradition. This is related to the god Thor, right? Or Odin's father. Odin is Thor's father. The thunderbolt, he's like Jupiter. In Nordic myth, he voluntarily tied himself to the world tree to gain new insights, new wisdom. So turning his consciousness upside down to the earth. This is what's called chthonic wisdom, ancient wisdom, earthy wisdom, not heady wisdom, okay? So Aquarius, this is a very important thing to know. We don't want to go into transhuman where we're totally not really natural beings anymore. This is about going back to nature. So I know a lot of people have been kind of fallen in love with their AI. You may have to still always look at things from an other point of view. Don't lose that. And it's about kind of saying, I don't know. You know, I don't know everything. It's about letting go. It's about allowing. It's about stopping to worry about things. It's about not being a martyr. You know, the Hangman is about being blamed to be a martyr. Hi, Barbara. Don't be the martyr anymore. That era is over, okay? So you may have to cut those old ideas off. Maybe you've been sacrificing yourself to an ideal and now it's not working anymore, okay? So turning the way you look at things upside down is very, very liberating, and Aquarius is all about liberation. Okay, so Pisces, okay. So again, the eclipse that's happening in a few days is in Virgo, but the sun is in Pisces at 12 degrees, so this will be affecting you. Okay, so Pisces, you get the devil. Now, the devil is Capricorn, okay, energy traditionally. It does have to do with the patriarchy. It has to do with literally laughing at the devil, not getting caught in the illusions. You know, who knows really what's real anymore, to tell you the truth, with AI, but it's going to get worse. So you need to stay grounded. This is Capricorn. It's very stable. It's rooted, it's grounded, it can climb a mountain like nobody's business, you know, and it's all about the business. It's all about the goals. So staying focused on your material goals, Pisces, you know, for all Pisces with Neptune in Aries, your ruling planet, you're in a whole new universe, you know, of fire. You know, you're always watery. Now you're dealing with fire, okay, for the first time in a very long time. So don't get spooked by the apparently demonology, demons going on in the world, even though it's being revealed. Don't get scared of it, okay? It's better to look the devil straight in the eyes and laugh. That's really what this card is about. Don't get scared by the devil. Fear, you know, fear is what gives them power. So don't get scared, okay? I know it looks dark, it is dark, you know, all that revelation of the dark side, that's okay. It's here to give you strength and to give you power, okay? So understand, you know, it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. You know, that's an old saying, but it's true. So understand that you are in a big revelation. Again, I've used that word a few times at this time, right? So, and it's also about setting new long-term goals. Okay? All right. So, sending you all the best blessings. I've been in Mexico here. It's been a bit scary, I have to say, the last few days, but it seems to have calmed down. Sending blessings to everybody in the world, especially the people in Iran. Right now, for their freedom and for everybody's freedom and liberation. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm at tarot.com. Join the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. They have wonderful agents. And if you want to get in touch with me to help you do personal readings for you, you can get in touch with me at my website at tarot.com. So sending you all the best blessings of the day. Okay. All right. So now, hold on. I have to stop this now. Okay. Okay. All right. So sending you blessings. See you next.